Boxing Truth here, back with another video. Make sure to smash that like button, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Alright, let's talk about Anthony Yarde. You know, I've been making fun of him for a while. Not about his boxing ability or any shit like that. Or, for considering the experience he brought to the table, which is only 12 amateur fights, the upbringing he had in boxing, he is pretty impressive with the limited experience he has in this game. And, he has my respect, man. Even though I made fun of him, even though he can't slip a jab, lines in the camp, Tunde, all that bullshit, Anthony Yarde got my respect. Why? Because he's a real fighter, He's got the balls. He's willing to go after great challenges. We need more fighters like Anthony Yarde. That's been what's missing in today's game. A lot of these other fighters, they have smart teams to maneuver them. They cherry pick their way to the rankings. They go after weak champions or vacant titles for their first title shot. My man Anthony Yarde, he went through the Lions Den. I mean, what he did was fucking old school back in the old days when there was only one champion. I mean, you had to fight the man. He came after the king twice. His first two title shots, definitely the hardest title shots out there. I mean, even an old Kovalev, who was still an elite fighter at the time, still a great fighter, and then to fight Beterbiev, despite his age, still a wrecking ball, still knocking everybody out. So my respects to Yarde. I mean, just not many fighters will do what he did. He wanted the biggest challenge. He wanted to prove that he's among the best. And Beterbiev is considered the man, the lineal champion, despite Bevo having the big victory on his resume. And Canelo. But, that's what's missing in boxing. We need more fighters like Anthony Yarde to challenge themselves, dare to be great. He wanted to beat the man. He wanted to come after the king. He was dealt with, but, he gave good efforts in both fights. He gave a good account of himself, despite getting stopped in both fights against Kovalev and Beterbiev. It's pretty impressive. The experience he lacks, being able to hurt Kovalev and have him in trouble. He had Beterbiev shaky in some moments as well in this fight. Backed him up, made him feel his power. I ain't gonna lie, I was feeling a little nervous in the middle of that fight. He had me feeling the same way when he had Kovalev in trouble, and I placed a large wager on Kovalev, so I was sweating, man, in that 8th round when he had him in trouble. Appeared to be on the verge of stopping him. But this was an easy bet, 7-12 Beterbiev was the play. Yarde is tough, especially when he's fresh. He has a chin, he can take a punch. It's just that, his defense needs work. I mean, I wish there's some real trainers out there, real teacher that would teach him how to slip a jab and use a more effective jab. Those improvements in his game could have really made a difference. Just a simple slip of the jab, and to limit the damage that he was taking in that fight. I mean, Tunde did grow a little from the Kovalev fight. He protected his fighter. He made the right call. It was only going to get worse. There was no bullshit instructions like empty the tank, shit like that. He made the right call, and Yarde will live to fight another day. And his stock really rose, man. He fought well. He fought bravely. He won a couple of rounds, 2 or 3 rounds, and gave a good account of himself. So the point is, I want to see him again. I want to see Anthony Yarde again. I want to see the build up to an Anthony Yarde fight, because I can't get lines in the camp out of my head now. Can't get it out of my head. It's funny as hell, and I can't get it out of my head. That's all I was been hearing throughout whole fight week. And he didn't get the victory, but he got the respect, according to most boxing fans, that appreciate the effort, appreciate the performance he put in, the determination he put in. I know some idiots are calling saying that he quit. Like bro, who cares if he lost? He gave a good performance, a good fight, and it was one of the best fights I've seen in a while, man. It was riveting stuff. It was entertaining. My mans was rocking each other with big ass punches. It was a true, real light heavyweight prize fight with high stakes. I love co-promotions, man. You always usually gonna get a real fight when it's a co-promotion. You think Frank's gonna tell Yarde to lay down? Nah, man. He wanted Yarde to win. Believed in him and was willing to take the risk and gamble with a fighter who is still inexperienced compared to the better Bievs and Kovalevs of the world, but a very impressive fighter, considering his upbringing, the background, the lack of amateur pedigree. He still is an impressive physical specimen. Just maybe needed a little more experience in fights, and definitely some better teachers in his corner, and that maybe could have made all the difference. But I want to see Yarde fight again. Looking forward to his next fight. I'm sure he's going to get some get back wins for some rehabilitation. Take a little break. It was it was a beating he took. So he'll take a break, get a couple of get back fights or two, and let's make that fight with Joshua Buatsi, man. Let's get this kid the payday that he deserves. The Buatsi fight is big. They're both around the same level. I mean, it's been marinated for quite some time. It's been talked about for quite some time. I don't know if Buatsi is still a Matchroom. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Looks like the Bivol fight's not going to happen for Buatsi. Well, I'm not 100% convinced that fight happens. I don't think Buatsi should fight Bivol. He's not ready. He'll get schooled, embarrassed, and he might actually record. Bivol might actually record a first stoppage in years if he was to fight Buatsi. The more competitive fight, the more fight that makes sense is Anthony Yarde versus Joshua Buatsi. So I will hope that fight happens sometime within the next 12 to 18 months. Yarde deserves a big payday. He's put in a great effort. And if it wasn't a Hall of Fame type fighters to challenge the champions, I mean, Yarde could potentially be a champion today if he didn't have to fight these killers, man. It's a big ask for your first two title shots for it to be a Kovalev and a better Biev. It's not like most other fighters. I mean, can you even remember Adrian Broner's first world title shot? Do you remember the guy he beat? I don't. What about Andre Berto's first title shot? What about Keith Thurman's first title shot? Y'all motherfuckers don't remember, do you? Because I don't. So respects to Anthony Yarde. He's a real fighter. We need more fighters like him to show that they're not afraid to dare to be great. They're not afraid to lose their O. As long as they put in a great effort, man, they're going to get the respect. The stock will rise, and further paydays will come. Joshua Buatsi, that's the next logical fight. I know it's a co-promotion, but Eddie and Frank got to find a way to make it done. I mean, that's the fight to make. So let's make it happen. Definitely want to see Yarde again. Better Biev was, as usual, he was menacing. He was smart. He played possum a few times, caught Yarde off guard, as Yarde thought he had him significantly hurt. He came back strong every time Yarde had moments, which was difficult to give Yarde some of those rounds, even though Yarde had a good start to the round. And he showed his quality, man. Even though he's getting older, he's 38. He's still a formidable fighter, and he's still an elite fighter. But the Bivol fight will be difficult for him because Bivol is a lot younger, a lot fresher, and a lot quicker. But it's still a great fight. That I only favor Bivol slightly in that fight because of the style. But Better Biev's power, his pressure, and jab will make it very interesting. It's an interesting fight, but it's not going to happen next If it is gonna happen, it will happen in 2024. 2024, yes, when Beterbiev is almost 39 years old. Hearn's gonna want to make in-house fights. He's gonna want to make the Canelo Bivol rematch, which is a more significant. I mean, it's a bigger business fight for Bivol, and Bivol will be huge in Russia. It'll be a major fight, but because of the war and the politics, the promoters won't want to put it there, and the sanctioning bodies won't sanction the fight if the fight takes place in Russia and and the war is still going on. So looks like Beterbiev is going to fight Callum Smith, which is a pointless mandatory. Everyone knows is going to win that fight. I'm a little shocked that I've seen some boxing takes on Smith knocking out Beterbiev, not just winning, but actually knocking him out. So I don't see that happening. I mean, if Smith can't even keep John Ryder off of him, if he almost loses to that kickboxer that he fought in the Super 6 series, how's he gonna get freaking Arthur Beterbiev off him? My man can't handle pressure. A guy that pressures him is gonna beat him, just like Ryder did, just like Canelo did, and what Beterbiev will do the same. Except Smith might not go 12 rounds, might be a mid rounds to late round stoppage. But respects to Anthony Yarde. Can't wait to see his next fight. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.